Okay, so companies are spending billions on AI, but most of them are seeing zero return. So what's going on? In this explainer, we're going to break down exactly why that is, and we'll lay out the two clear paths to building an AI strategy that actually works.
I mean, look at this number. Companies are just pouring money into AI. Global spending, it's projected to hit a staggering $98 billion in 2023. And to put that in perspective for you, that's way up from just $38 billion back in 2019. So the investment is massive, and it's not slowing down, it's accelerating.
But here's the crazy part, the big paradox. Despite throwing literally billions of dollars at this, so many businesses are struggling to see any real benefit. They're just hitting walls. With things like change management, finding the right people, and just getting their AI projects out of the lab and into the real world. So what is going wrong?
All right, so here's how we're going to get to the bottom of it. First, we'll tackle that paradox. Then, we'll explore the two main paths any business can take. We're going to break down a practical playbook, show you how to choose your strategy, and then we'll look at what it really means to go AI first. And we'll wrap it all up with two golden rules for success. Sound good? So you've got this massive gap between spending and results, right? Well, it all boils down to a fundamental choice. Yeah, when you get right down to it, your AI strategy really comes down to a fork in the road. And this is a choice that every single business has to make between two very, very different ways of thinking about and using artificial intelligence. Okay, so on one path, you've got augmentation. Think of this as using AI to make what you already do just better, faster, or cheaper. It's all about enhancing your human workforce. But on the other path, you have AI first. And this is a total mindset shift. It's about completely rebuilding your company's DNA, so you're looking at every single problem, every opportunity through an AI lens right from the get-go. All right, let's dive into that first path, augmentation. This isn't just one single move, by the way. It's a whole playbook that breaks down into 4 distinct strategies you can literally start using to enhance your business right now. First up, we've got the efficiency strategy. This one's the most straightforward play in the book. You're basically using AI and automation to optimize your processes and slash costs. It's perfect for those repetitive tasks that have really clear, defined roles. Things like fraud detection or managing a supply chain. But hold on. It's not without its risks. I mean, in super regulated fields like finance or medicine, an AI making a mistake can have serious consequences. And let's be honest, sometimes customers just need a human touch that an AI can't replicate. But the biggest one, the huge risk of unintentional bias. The classic cautionary tale is from Amazon. They had to scrap an AI recruiting tool because it literally taught itself to be biased against women. That just shows you how high the stakes can get. Okay, next up is the effectiveness strategy. Now, this one goes way beyond just cutting costs. Here, the goal is to improve your overall business performance. We're talking about using AI to boost both your top-line revenue and your bottom-line profit, all by making your products, your services, and how you talk to customers way better and more targeted. The third play in our book is the expert strategy. The best way to think about this is like giving your best people an AI co-pilot. It's designed for those really complex, tricky situations where you absolutely need human judgment, but an AI can crunch the data, run the analysis, and serve up recommendations to help them make an even better final call. And that's the key part. The human expert always has the final say. And last but not least, we have the innovation strategy. Now, this is the most transformative play of them all. This isn't about just improving what you already do. Nope. This is about using AI to invent entirely new business models. Think about how Netflix completely reinvented entertainment, or how Airbnb changed travel forever. They did it by putting data and AI right at the very core of their business. Okay, so we've got these 4 distinct strategies: efficiency, effectiveness, expert, and innovation. But how in the world do you know which one is right for your project, or even for your whole business? Well, let's look at a really simple framework that'll help you make that call. And here it is. This is a super useful way to think about it, a complexity matrix. So you just look at your project on 2 different scales. Along the bottom, you have work complexity. Basically, how sophisticated is the task? And on the side, you have data and environment complexity, which is just a fancy way of saying how clean is your data and how ready is your company for AI. So if both are low, you start with the efficiency strategy. Simple. If the work is complex, but your data is simple, the expert strategy is probably your best bet. If your data is complex, but the work itself is pretty straightforward, then you go for effectiveness. And for the really big, hairy challenges where both the work and the data are super complex, that's when you unleash the innovation strategy.
Okay, let's totally switch gears now. Remember that fork in the road? Let's talk about that second major path, the AI first mentality. And I want to be clear, this is not just about a project or a single strategy. This is about a complete cultural and operational transformation. This is going all in.
Netflix, of course, is the textbook example. They use AI for, well, everything. It forecasts what shows you're going to want to watch next. It even personalizes the actual artwork you see for a movie. It's true. Based on your viewing history, if you love comedies, you might see a poster for a drama that highlights one of its more comedic actors. It's just wild. AI is woven into the very fabric of their product. And then, of course, there's Amazon. AI is just everywhere. It's powering that famous recommendation engine we all know. It's the brain behind Alexa. And get this, through Amazon Web Services, they actually sell their own powerful AI tools to thousands of other huge companies. We're talking everyone from Siemens to NASA. And maybe no one has signaled this shift more clearly than Google. A few years back, their CEO, Sundar Pichai, got up and announced they were fundamentally changing from a mobile-first to an AI-first company. And they weren't just talking, they backed it up by buying more than a dozen AI startups, just to show the massive commitment it takes to really make that pivot. So, whether you're picking an augmentation strategy or you're trying to go all in and become AI first, how do you make sure that huge investment actually pays off? How do you avoid becoming another statistic? Well, it really boils down to two simple but incredibly powerful rules. And here they are, super simple. Rule number 1, fix your data first. Rule number 2, stop trying to hit home runs all the time and just focus on hitting singles and doubles. Let's break down what that really means. Okay, rule 1. Look, the single biggest mistake companies make is chasing after all these fancy, complicated algorithms when their data is a complete and total mess. The truth is, your data strategy is your AI strategy. You have to get that right first. It's like the quote says, collecting the right data is way, way harder than just implementing some fancy code. And that brings us to rule number 2, hitting singles and doubles. It's really about managing expectations. AI isn't some kind of magic pixie dust that's going to solve your biggest problem overnight. Real success usually comes from a whole series of small, smart wins. Gmail is the perfect example of this. We all know it uses machine learning for spam filtering, right? But think about all the other little AI features it has. It suggests people you forgot to CC. It warns you if you say, I've attached, but then forget the attachment. It flags emails that thinks are important. It translates languages for you automatically. None of those is a massive home run by itself. But you add them all together, they create an absolutely superior product. So there you have it. That's the strategic landscape. You've got the augmentation playbook with its 4 different plays, and then you've got the all-in, transformative AI-first mentality. And holding it all together are those 2 simple rules. Get your data right and aim for those consistent small wins. Which brings us to the final question, and this one's for you. When you look at your own company, your own work, which path does your business really need to take?